they achieve about the same level of compression of parts in robot mode without being quite as finicky as Alien Attack. But I will say the Alien Attack looks good, but there's a lot of little bitty things that look like they drive me crazy in place.
I took it out of the box. I was like, yeah, nope.
Well, have you still got it?
No, I sold it on eBay.
Okay,
I didn't even transform it.
I thought you did. I just couldn't remember.
Nice shirt, Brian.
And I thought I was going to be the coughing problem tonight.
Because I liked a lot of those shirts. It's just I just don't buy any theme shirts because I have no real reason to wear them. And besides, as big as I am, it's just kind of hard to find them that'll fit. Sometimes
they go, Don. They go up to 5X. So
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I liked all the shirt designs. I liked even some of the pony designs. I would never wear them, but they're cute designs.
Oh, I thought you meant the RFC shirts.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
We were talking about the RFC shirts.
Well, no, I liked all the shirts.
But those shirts, those shirts only go up to 3X.
Yeah, the Hasbro shirts only go up to 3X.
Oh, okay.
3X is fine. That's what I wear.
I can get by 3X no problem. Even a 2X if it's cut right.
No, I can't do it 2X.
So what time are you guys?
I mean, what are the odds of that, though?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, what time are you guys streaming till?
Well, the panel we're interested in starts at 1. So, I would imagine we'll end at 2 at the earliest.
Isn't that a weird time? Like, don't they usually have
Okay, Central Time.
Don't they usually have a morning preview event or something?
There is often the Hasbro SDCC breakfast, but that's not going to be like general access thing. That's going to be where the representatives from the websites get taken to a bar. You know the drill from NYCC.
Yeah, we didn't get invited to it this year, which is
well, we didn't get invited last year either. We've only been invited to the SDCC thing once when I told them, quote, we don't have anybody who lives in the area. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that would do it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, but we could always, once our...
We could deputize John or somebody.
No, once our Amazon money come in, you can just fly me out there.
Yeah, that Amazon money, it's not going to cover.
All from the repugnancies,
Start pushing those plasma TVs or whatever the new hotness is now.
So, yeah, there's going to be a bump from all that, but that's pretty much going to be what's needed to cover the rest of the year.
Oh, no, I know. I'm joking.
I know, I'm just saying.
You should probably put that repugnance money aside to pay the taxes next year.
Oh, God, you're right, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go take cough medicine real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Good call.
I literally wasn't coughing until, I just started coughing.
You probably weren't talking so much.
Yeah, you're right. BRB.
I forgot to grab one thing that I got this week.
Okay. That's all the pictures.
I don't think I've gotten anything this week.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that too, and nothing's coming to mind for me.
Yeah,
my Prime Masters Wave 3 order came in on BBTS today, but it's going to be at least next week before I have them.
Yeah. Blast off is
still waiting for a couple more things to come in anyway. Yeah.
Well, I sure got something. We'll save it.
But yeah, Blast Off's going to ship sometime. I think someone may have grabbed me Repugnus off of my Amazon wish list. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Well, hopefully they didn't. It didn't just glitch out like the ones on my watch list.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out if I end up with one, but if not, not. Like I said, I'm trying not to stress about that stuff as much anymore. I've got enough stress.
That just doesn't work for me like the Optimus does.
Yeah, the Optimus works a little bit better, but still not bad. It's that KO mold, and then they just, I don't know what they did.
Yeah, definitely. It works better on the Optimus mold because I think the fact that there aren't so many just absolutely flat surfaces on Optimus helps the illusion of it a little bit more. Just those broad highlights on Megatron's chest don't quite work, I don't think.
Dusty original. I thought this one looked great in photos, and Dusty originally said like there's way too much white on it, and now I kind of agree.
Yeah, it's and it's the white. I don't think is applied particularly well either. I don't know. I am not really here enough mentally to get into my theories of how to highlight, metallic surfaces in art, but it just doesn't look quite right to me.
Well, okay. I mean, the basic theory is you don't use white; you use a lighter tone of whatever color in question.
I'm even okay with using white in some circumstances, but I don't think the highlight should be like okay. But I don't think it should be like all over the map like it is. It's just
Diecast, you hold that up again.
Weird light source that's all coming from.
That's the cell shaded version.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
not. It's not near as pretty as the Optimus.
No, the Optimus is much better.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's.
Looks like it's done by a kid. It looks like it's done by a kid with egg tempera.
Now, infinite transformation. They're also doing one that's not as bright, so that might actually be the one to go for.
Well, they're the KO Megatron that had the improvements with the and the back on the added back piece to hide all the kibble in the back, plus the Frank Welker effects.
I mean, again, it's still not bad. It's just not as good as.
How much was it?
He doesn't know. It came in a box of Taobao.
Yeah.
Roll the dice and pick a price.
We'll say 100.
We'll say 100.
I know it's just infuriating, isn't it?
With the kind of budgeting I have to do for basically everything,
it's
that gives me a rash. That gives me hives. I can't. I'm trying so hard not to swear right now. That is just... I cannot do that.
This flagrant disregard for the value of money is just, like, inconceivable.
Insert Princess Bride line here.
Yes.
I hate new Skype.
Well, if you want to talk about big purchases...
I can't see everybody.
Yeah,
there's also... That
Me
one.
neither.
Okay, Diecast, I have to ask you this, okay? That the only color green I've ever seen in nature was on a Poland chainsaw. That is the only
That's not
color.
exactly nature, is it?
It was they're in the forest cutting down a tree.
It was near a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the closest thing. That is, I'm sorry, one of the most hideous color greens I've ever seen in my life.
I like it.
Why did you pick that? Why did you pick that?
Because I like it.
I like it too.
Of course.
Why would you pick the color of any vehicle other, unless you like it?
I mean, it's just so doesn't seem like him. A yellow or an orange or
It's very close to yellow.
It's not even in the same orbit as yellow.
Do you know how colors worked on?
Yes, I know how. I know the color spectrum.
You realize it doesn't involve like gravity or planetary systems generally.
I was doing a metaphor, a simile, or something.
It's the color fear. Everyone knows that, right, Don?
Yes.
I think it's just one of those colors. Either you love it or you hate it.
His wallet is now terrified. I mean, I wasn't trying to be mean, Diecast. It's just that's just such an odd color that I don't associate with you.
Oh, anything bright. Any bright color is me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless you're talking about pink, and then no.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Sean, I'm not wearing prison stripes. I'm just wearing a striped shirt, and stripes make me look fatter than I already am. So basically, I'm Mogo in a fashion tee.
So I'm looking at the Facebook
Vertical stripes, Don. Go for vertical stripes.
Yeah, I'm looking at Facebook Live right now. So I can stream. I can restrict the video stream to an age group and to a gender. That's just weird.
You can restrict it to a gender?
Yes.
Welcome
Okay.
to Facebook.
That's
This is the man show. It's for man.
No, I was going to suggest
bullshit.
that we start having our ladies only RFC stream on Facebook. try
There you
to expand our demographics.
Okay. Okay, set it and forget it.
Well, that's the ideal
What's
anyway.
cooking? What's cooking?
No, it's just the live stream. The XSplit on the other PC.
After 2 hours, take out an oven and throw away.
Yeah.
Okay, my connection's going to go shitty for a minute, or crappy for a minute here, because I got to upload, so...
Yeah.
Is working as intended, as much as it can.
Hey,
Hey.
Rob,
yes.
are we stream? Yeah, we probably are streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. I
Okay.
don't want to ruin anything.
Hey, Michael, just to let you know, that would be the most unfearful thing ever, would be a Sinestro Core diecast. That would be the most unfearful, unafraid thing that they've ever done. It'd be like, no, I'm not scared of this. I'm just not scared of this at all.
You say that, but if you had a dream about that, you'd probably wake up sweating and screaming.
If I dream about diecast, I need to go jump in front of a fast-moving deer.
That's a new one.
Well, there's
Not
more
sure.
deer out here where I live than there is vehicles at certain times of the morning. So I'm better likely to find a deer in motion to run over me than I am a vehicle at some
Hey,
point.
Don,
Makes
if you
sense.
dream about me, you might be a woman.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I've had diecast has been in my dreams before, and I'm not a woman.
Don't
don't-
ruin it.
Yeah, you already ruined the diecast. We're too
It's
late.
already ruined, yeah.
Rob, I put my thing I was thinking of in the chat.
All right, let me see what we're talking about here.
I bet the answer is no.
No, I haven't. I took the slow shipping, so it's probably going to be a while yet, but it is not shipped.
You know, Knight Wingham says, you know, you mentioned the Legion. I remember Matty Collector back when they were doing the DC Universe exclusives. They did a Legion of Superheroes big box set that came in a collector's case, and one of the spots was empty without a figure in it, and the label was Invisible Kid, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I thought that was wonderful that because he was part of the Legion, but they left it empty on purpose to have him represented in the slot.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
I
kinda
think
cool.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was about the time they were wrapping up because they weren't sure if that was going to that and one of the bigger Ghostbuster items wasn't sure they was going to get it out or not. But yeah, they got those out. I'd never done anything with the Legion, so I didn't care for it. But I collected DC Universe classics like God.
Let them
Jeez,
complain.
I've got so many of them.
I have a couple. There's a few I missed that I regret, but man, I have enough space taken up with stuff without doing 6-inch scale figures anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I cherry picked most of the waves. I bought I bought the Super Friends waves for Apache Chief, obviously, and I've got Collect and Connect Kilowog.
oh nice.
It's freaking Kilowog,
I hate
and
Kilowog.
I've got our Kilo in the other room. It's kind of cool because our Kilo can go toe to toe with Marvel Legends Hulkbuster Iron Man, which is kind of like that's an amalgam I want to see. Issue of an amalgam.
Don, you're the only person on Earth who left who cares about amalgam.
Oh no! There are other people. Whenever it comes up on Twitter, I have several people reply that they want to see amalgam come back as well. I think there's potential there and money for both companies if they would just do it.
So you're saying they're
Marvel
leaving?
Marvel doesn't even want its own money. It just outsourced all its kids comics to IDW.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that why they just announced an I thought, why is IDW announcing this book? What was it? Oh, the Spider-Man book.
Mm-hmm.
With Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Spider-Girl. I guess that's their adventures.
Wait, which Spider-Girl?
More or less.
Gwen Stacy.
Oh,
Yeah, Spider-Gwen, I think. But yeah, that's probably why. But yeah, as far as I can tell, yeah, Marvel has decided they're not even going to try and do kids comics anymore. They're just going to let IDW do it. I have a feeling that may be a deal that came about because John Barber is editor-in-chief of IDW now, and he used to work with Marvel, so there's probably a good relationship there. And as somebody else pointed out, 20,000 copies of something sold is an abject failure for Marvel and a pretty solid success for IDW.
Nailed it. That's what it is.
So basically, Marvel's making money off selling them the rights to these characters without actually having to produce any content.
Yeah.
And IDW will make money that is good for them, but will be a failure for Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not leaving any money on the table. Is what you're
Precisely.
saying.
I mean, if
Maybe IDW could do the New Warriors then.
New Warriors, Power Pack, that's always a possibility.
I would not put it past Barber to get a Power Pack book together. That really does sound like something he would do.
The one book I wish IDW would do, and I've asked them this for years.
Slingers.
No, I want them to do animated Dungeons and Dragons from the TV series, but they said the rights are so convoluted it would be impossible to get everything settled. Because I asked them at several BotCons, can you do? You've got the license for D&D. Can you do the animated series? He says there's so many rights issues involved, it'd be impossible to untangle.
Or it's just not worth the effort.
So maybe we should replace It's a Don deal with Don doing a tabletop roleplay podcast and call it Dungeons and Dragons.
I would. Hey, we're going to do an actual play on RPG Lessons Learned. Maybe that's what I'll pitch. Dungeons and Dragons.
Well,
that's the crossover between the two podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what that should be.
Yeah, I do a pretty good Presto. My Presto.
Your Presto is pretty good.
And see, Jared wants Amalgam back too. I am not alone.
No, I'm pretty sure you're alone, Don.
Y'all just don't like good. You don't like Velveeta. You don't like Miracle Whip. You don't like Amalgam.
Don, I'm getting over being sick. Please don't talk about nasty stuff like that.
Ooh! The Transformers Power of the Primes Dinobots are on Amazon. The Wave 2.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Which ones are... It's just two of them, right? Is it two or three?
Yeah, it's Snarl and Sludge.
Yeah, Snarl and Sludge.
Oh, I can get them.
Are they hard to find?
All right.
I mean, they've been in and out of Hasbro Toy Shop for the last couple of weeks, too. You could have got them from there at various points.
Gun, I just did a search, and then I jumped on, and it says...
Snarl
gives me the higher price.
$16.99.
Check if you click the other sellers or whatever link, you can probably get back to the price you saw.
$16.99 is the price I see.
No, click new from $16.99. Well, it's
click that.
One of them at least.
Click that link I just put in the chat.
Add to cart. I will.
Sludge. Also,
I think what we're learning here is Diecast might be able to use Taobao, very effectively, but he doesn't have a clue how to use Amazon.
Now Sludge is now showing up as $36.
Yeah, that's
wow.
That's the one I was clicking on. God damn it. So if I order, I'll only have one of them.
Well, one's better than none.
Yeah, it's one more than you have right now.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the small victories is what you have to do.
Toy Shop.
I was so close.
Yeah, so far away.
But at least you can get Snarl.
Because I've kind of the boat has kind of sailed on me, waiting for the other person to get them in. The other supplier.
But they're still having
no
issues
Dinobots
right?
on HTS right now.
Yeah.
You can get Moonracer on HTS though. Right now, it looks like.
I got Moonracer on Amazon actually this week.
Oh, nice.
The two Dinobots are the only ones that keep eluding me.
Well, just keep watching them, and eventually you'll probably hit them.
Well,
maybe.
I thought you had all this stuff already, or I could have picked you up some when I got Chris his.
Chris got me mine a couple of months ago, so
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I left-
that's why Matt had to get me a set because I depleted the supply around here helping other people first.
well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I left
What-
Snarl in my cart too long, and he went out of stock.
Good job.
I hate that. I
Well,
loathe
that's what happened to Blast Off the first time. I was going through the process and I was done, and I clicked order, and they said, "I'm sorry, there's a problem with your order."
Did
We
they not
don't
know who you are?
Apparently, they've never
I'm
heard
sure
of
they've
you.
heard of you.
I'm sure they. But my Predaking's on the way, and I did get a Blast Off. I ordered 2 Blast Offs and 2 counter punches and 2 Repugnas. Because I figured someone might need one I can use as a trade for TFCon stuff. Something like that.
Oh,
Just
Yeah,
Don.
in
Jason's
case.
might be missing a claw, so you want to hold on to that one.
Oh, Don, I asked Amazon. They said they didn't do it.
Didn't do what?
Nothing.
I got that reference.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm very tired, Brian. I'm sorry. You might. It's just going to fly over my head tonight. It's just. It was a long week.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like that happens, in the usual course of business here or anything, Don.
Huh?
What?
Who?
Okay, coughing is much better. Yay.
I can't believe I
Good.
missed. God darn it.
Well, I mean, at least you know, and you can bookmark the page. I mean, you just keep checking. I mean, the problem is it's the distribution, as we've all brought up. It's coming in and out at so many places that so many you can't check every site every moment of every day
Diecast can.
unless there's some app that. Unless someone can, because I know you can make apps on your own somehow. I don't know how you do it.
Well, that's called programming, Don.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't know how you would I know how you do it. It's the actual application of it to do it.
Hey Don, did you
gotta
know that?
remember,
Did you know that
I
there's
learned basic.
Don? Did you know that there's a plug-in in Excel that actually makes it where you can do what you're talking about right now with no technical skills whatsoever?
Okay,
Really?
well, Lotus 1, 2, 3.
No,
Yeah.
just Excel.
No, remember. I mean, honestly, I only used Lotus 1, 2, 3. I never used Excel for
Okay.
anything.
But there's a way where you can actually go in where Excel will pull data. Will pull data directly from a website. You just basically tell it like what element to pull, and you can use that as a data
And
source.
how often to pull for it.
Yeah, it's really simple.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I mean, it's really simple given an appropriate level of familiarity and understanding of the processes involved with doing that.
But I'm a computer idiot.
I'm not going to go on a limb and say it's a universally easy thing. Well, I mean, it would probably take me some time working with it to figure out how to do it too, because I don't really have a head for
it's
programming kind of stuff.
It's weird. I mean, I've just
I like
never,
hardware better.
I've never been wanting to keep up with all these technologies. It's just
I've noticed.
if I can use coax cable and RCA cables to on my sound system, everything works fine. I don't need Bluetooth or all this other crap. It
I don't
sounds
want
fine.
Bluetooth
It does the
either.
job.
I don't like Bluetooth
Hey,
either.
Blot's also in stock. Probably by the time you click on it, it'll be gone, though. Yeah.
Jason, I believe you were on mute if you were trying to talk to us.
No. Hey, Jason,
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
you sound like you're underwater.
What?
No, you sound better.
Now
Okay,
you're
you
all
sound
right.
better now.
Who's the
Oh, I was
podcaster
right
who's
to
under the
Skype
sea?
Hey, real quick. So it's about time to start. I forgot. Is that the Procaster? Is that your mic, Jason?
No, this is the 320.
Oh, the RE320. Okay, and you, for a second, it sounded like you're underwater again.
Man,
Or
it's
on a
being-
phone.
Yeah.
It seems to be when you start to talk, it might be like a noise gate trying to adjust or something.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
sounds like it
it's
could be.
it's not a volume thing. It's a fidelity thing. So I don't know what it would
Well,
be.
I'm bypassing the DBX now. Is it doing anything different?
Yeah, it still did it.
So it's this
Skype.
new freaking Skype.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Of
did
course
the
it
new
is.
Skype?
Good old Skype.
Yeah, because
Well-
I can see a latency in my camera whenever I move.
Well, I mean, you've waited almost 10 years, but it seems like new Skype's going to be what finally ends up killing RFC again.
We can always go back to Uvu.
Does Real Player handle video?
Yeah, it does actually.
Is Real Player still alive?
No, I don't think so.
If it wasn't for the time, I would just install classic Skype real quick and come back. But
You're fine.
I don't want to.
Let's.
Oh man, that's the
Yeah, we need to start back up.
Yeah, you say classic Skype, and I think of like, they screwed up Skype on purpose, like New Coke, to make you go back to the old one.
Well, they actually thought New Coke was going to sell Don.
I know. I have a bachelor's in marketing. Trust me, we analyzed that failure pretty well in college.
Oh yeah, well, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Awesome.
That joke is far enough removed that was actually perfect.
That was really good.
I will give him that. That was excellent timing.
Don approved.
Don approved.
Oh,
RFC
hey,
tested. Don
Acid
approved.
Storm.
What was that?
I said, "Oh, hey, Cyberverse Acid Storm."
Oh,
So the repaints are already happening.
You know, those
I guess.
Like, that's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a secret mold.
And he's in the show, so we kind of figured he was going to get a toy anyway.
let's go and start. 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 580. I am Brian Kilby, and I am now pneumonia-free. Not that I actually had pneumonia, but I was told that I was starting to get it. But I'll probably have to break the cough, and I apologize for that. But someone who isn't going to cough is picking a random person. Rob! Hey, Rob, how's it going?
Hi, not bad.
Rob, you totally screwed that up. The only correct response at that point was to cough.
Yeah. I should have went with Chris. Hey, Chris. Jason.
I might not cough, but I might swear if Skype keeps being Skype.
Yeah. Everybody.
Well, there you go. Foregone conclusion.
Actually, Skype is being Skypier than normal this week.
I feel like Homer Simpson in that, was it season 3 episode where he's like skipped church and everything, and he said he's like sitting in like smoking a cigar. He's like, everybody's an idiot except me, because I'm still using a version of Skype. It's like 15 years old. It works great. Works great. Matt.
Yeah, I'm here.
Diecast.
I'm here.
Diecast has a new vehicle.
I do. He is downshift.
Nice.
Energon downshift.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That explains the color.
Really
yeah.
close, really close. And Don,
Yep.
Don doesn't like diecast. Don does not approve of diecast car color.
It just doesn't fit him to me. But it's not my car. It's not my money. So
Don,
if you're
when
happy, rock on.
When you say Energon downshift was a great figure,
No, the car you have is Cybertron downshift.
Cybertron, thank you.
Yeah, Cybertron.
Energon is just Wheeljack.
Yeah.
We know what he was talking about, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
know,
doing
but not everybody might.
That's true.
I
I get
Also,
all
it's
those
not-
confused.
It's not a week on this show if I don't correct diecast.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. It's really nice. So you went with a Dodge. I just got a Dodge. We are a Dodge family here.
Yep.
Not really.
Mopar.
Yeah. Hey, so lots of stuff going on this week, and as of the time you download the show, it's probably out of date because of San Diego Comic-Con. But we are going to have a live stream Thursday. What time are you guys starting?
A little before 2.
A little before 2 Eastern time.
Unless something huge drops at the IDW panel, then Ant and I at least will be available to go a little early. But
So Anthony Burkali from TFU.info and Transformers University podcast, Jason, Chris, Don, Eric Crownover, who we haven't had on in a while. We've basically just been snubbing you, Eric. I'm sorry.
Brian's sorry, but some of the rest of us were not sorry.
But you know what? He is not being snubbed in the Dawn of the Day. He is prominently featured in Sean's Dawn of the Day.
Yes, so, it's interesting how he's basically become Don's sidekick.
Like real life. Just like real
Maybe we
life.
should rename Eric as Don Jr.
No.
Yes.
No.
And if you think about it, the age gap is just about right where it's like credible that Don could actually like unknowingly even be Eric's father.
Not even okay, Eric is what, 19? Don's 48?
Possible.
Don would have been 29 when Eric was born. He is easily Eric's father.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night. I'm going to jump from a bus. Y'all take care.
I thought you were going to jump from a fast-moving deer. We talked about this in pre-show, Don.
Yeah, but it's daylight. The deer are not out yet, so I got to settle for a bus.
No. Well, if the
So you don't have people around you that feed the deer actively to make them come out in the daytime.
or the rabid deer, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just
So
crazy.
does that make Eric Headmaster Junior Eric?
Yes,
Yes, it does.
it does.
So he's Lio Jr.
Well, he can be Titan Master, and Don can be the original headmaster.
Moving on to
There
the
you
next
go.
topic of
All
conversation.
right.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see this
Hey,
progression.
so-
I kind of like
no.
the headmaster junior
Correction.
thing a little bit better for branding purposes.
He's turning 19 on Monday, so he's not even 19
Oh,
yet.
God. Perfect. Okay, hey, so if you're watching the video, you'll see that I'm wearing my beautiful professional robot collector shirt. I got comments on it today. Admittedly, they were from Chris Triplett, but I did get comments on the shirt, so...
And you are allowed to collect third party with that shirt
You-
because
Or GoBots.
it does not say. It does not specify.
Or like crappy dollar store, transforming robots. Whatever, we don't judge.
Power Ranger Zords, they're
Yeah.
good now.
There's a lot of
Unless-
robots.
Unless it's crappy bots master stuff, then you're disavowed.
Whatever, Don. But you can get this at tfradio.net/shirts or at
Toy Biz make the
shirtcycle.com/tfradio.
Botsmaster toys?
I don't remember.
Probably.
I don't think of Toy Biz making like robots.
Superhero stuff?
Yeah, but I don't know what they did before they went down the Marvel train. So yeah, don't remember it all. But yeah, tfradio.net/shirts. That's all I got this week. I don't have anything else other than this awesome shirt, which you should get. It's like $20. It's a great deal. Anybody get anything, Chris?
My Prime Masters Wave 3 order came in at Big Bad Toy Store today, but obviously I don't have them yet because...
They just came in today. Mine did too.
Yeah.
So, next week, hopefully.
Maybe?
Jason?
Same. Mine came in today. I shipped them today, so they'll probably be in on Thursday. Because why would it take only a week to get my stuff? A couple things I did get though. It was on sale, so I picked up RID Bumblebee because he was one I hadn't gotten early on, and he actually is a nice comparison because based on what Chris said, I also got Bludgeon.
Yeah,
and it's very interesting to pick up like the first toy they put out versus the last toy they put out. I've always enjoyed the RID line, but they got this was Megatron's at first, like wave 3 or 4, but they really upped the.
Yeah, you can tell the progression in just those two figures, really.
Yeah, over the course of like a year.
Mm-hmm. And so I need to thank someone on the show. I need to thank Matthew. So last week I showed off Abominus that wasn't quite Abominus, but that's kind of been fixed.
Yay!
Kinda. Not
Sorry,
completely.
No, he's in the box from Big Bag Toy Store, so next week maybe. I can show off a full Abominus.
I will have my Abominus next week. Speaking of Chris Triplett, I will. So when I met Chris today for lunch, I had my oldest daughter with me, so I didn't want her to see me buying toys.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say that you didn't want her to see Chris Triplett.
So I did say
That's credible. I'd totally believe that.
I did say, hold on, let me get a picture for the registry. She didn't get it, but it was terrible. But I said next time you have to be like at least 40 feet apart. But yeah. So I didn't want her to see me buying toys. So I'll see him again tomorrow at work, actually. So I'm getting those from him tomorrow. So I'll have my Abominus next week. Hey, real quick, in the chat, JT Prime 17 said Toy Biz made teddy bears before they got the Marvel license.
Huh.
Which makes as much sense as anything, honestly.
Yeah. I wonder if their teddy bears were as annoyingly paint washed as the Marvel figures ended up doing.
I kind of would like to see what they showed to Marvel to get that license.
It was a check.
I mean, honestly, to show them the productions, like, yeah, we make teddy bears, but we can also do this kind of figure, and just see what they would have shown as a proof of concept.
So that was a time when Marvel was literally dying for money. So they probably literally just needed a check, because that was around the same time they sold off the Spider-Man license and the Fantastic Four license and the X-Men license. So they were in a bad way, if memory serves. Yeah. So Matt, did you get anything?
Yes, I did. So I got Mastermind Creations reformatted Calidus Luminous, which is the good colors. Lost Light Rodimus.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Very much like it. Yeah. Pretty. My Time Ranger DVDs came in. So that's always
Yay!
fun.
All right.
When did that series air?
2000. It was actually
2000.
the first.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the first episode was like, New Year's Day 2000, so they were like really leaning into that hard.
Okay.
Time for Time Force.
No, that came a year later.
No, not until next year. Yeah.
And I don't often buy Marvel Legends, but when I do, I buy Thunderbolts.
Ooh,
I got Songbird.
Songbird, yeah.
Now
I thought you
to make the rest
thought you
of the
were
team.
going to say when I do, I buy Death's Head too.
Now, is there a Thunderbolts wave,
They've done that.
or did she just happen to be?
There was a San Diego set a couple years ago, but it wasn't the classic characters, except for Moonstone, I think, was in it.
Okay.
But no, she just comes in a wave because she was an Avenger for a while.
Yeah.
I would pay money for the rest of the team, though. Hasbro, if you're listening.
So, I'm not a huge.
Build a figure Atlas wave. Just saying.
I'm
It's
not
right there.
I'm not a huge Thunderbolts fan. But it's my fault. I didn't do a lot of reading of the comic. But when they rebooted it one of the times, and then they put Captain Marvel on it, Genis Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my all-time favorite characters. I know he's my Jack of Hearts, or my
I like Genus Bell as well.
Yeah.
I think he was also in the latest incarnation of New Warriors, I think, along with American Chavez.
Okay.
Miss America.
No, Genus is dead. You
Yeah.
may be thinking of Novar.
Okay. all
Possibly.
right.
But yeah, so I would have bought that. Okay, cool. Anything else?
No, that is it.
Cool.
That's it for me this week.
Diecast.
Just a tag.
I was this weekend. Well, before he gets to it, when he bought his new car, I mentioned Kim was like, "How can he afford this?" I'm like, "I don't know. He spends like $500 a week on toys, so I literally don't know how you afford all this stuff."
on the Amazon sale. I got a Twinferno from RAD.
$8.30, something like that.
Yep. Yeah, something like that.
Great deal.
Just throw it in the car. I also got Predaking because when the first wave sold out at Amazon, I decided to replace my order that I canceled. So he came in. And from Chosen Prime today, I also got, I'm trying to get them on the camera, the next two figures out of their remaster series. Is that what?
Yeah, from
remaster
Make Toys, right?
So, yeah, Thundercracker and Skywarp. And Hasbro, I'm just saying, you need to redo your jet mold because if
that's
you redo
Takara,
it,
not Hasbro.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'll wait. But the point is, I'll wait for the cone heads. Of course, that's probably going to take years for Takara to get to those because they're going to do jets first. But the regular jets. But yeah, they need to get on it because Make Toys is also doing the cone heads. So,
Well,
Okay,
I remember.
but what if Takara makes new Seeker molds, but they cost 30,000 yen each?
then I'll stick with my Make Toys.
Well, I mean, I remember when Meteor came out, that Starscream. I saw several people mention in various forums on Twitter and stuff that they were actually selling their Takara Masterpiece Starscream because Meteor was just such a much better toy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also got Unique Toys Sworder.
When did that come out? Like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It was always one that I wanted to get, and I was finally just like, I'm just going to pick it up.
Yeah, it always looked interesting to me.
And then I got X Transbots Cliff Jumper.
Can you do a review of that?
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about him is he's got a really bad backpack.
I mean, you're kind of stuck with that, with the way those, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Hubcap, all them transform. Like, you're gonna end up with something like that just to get the robot mode looking like, while also having like a full, real proportion car.
Yeah. Now the Ocular Max looks like it compresses a little bit better, but it's also Ocular Max, and that leaves me kind of like.
What do you have wrong? What do you think about what's wrong with Ocular Max?
Well, other than transforming in a lot more steps than needs to.
That
Nothing
with the
really.
backpack, though.
Nothing really.
I've never noticed that.
Well, I mean, Sphinx was fine, but the other stuff I've messed with.
I only
is
have a
like,
few figures.
Yeah, everything else is like, that's way more steps than you need. That's why I didn't get their Trailbreaker. It's like the legs alone are like 20 steps just the legs. It's like
It's so much better than Bad Cube, which Matt abandoned of all people. Matt abandoned Sun Surge. Like, near complete transformation.
He ran out of time. He had to go home.
2 days.
To be fair, you would not let me continue on the podcast. You made me stop.
That's true. That's true.
I was stuck. I'll admit it. It wasn't going to happen.
This one's interesting because Chris and I were talking about this one. This is the
I don't even know what that is.
The Grimlock that you actually put together.
From one of the Generations Toys bonuses, right? From their Copytron.
I thought this came assembled from the listing on Taobao. No, it doesn't. It actually comes on the sprue kit like the Generation Toys one. So I'm half tempted to try and make this a G2 Grimlock and maybe just paint it before I put it together.
Yes, paint it before you put it together.
Okay, so if you're gonna do that, like, make sure to do like some sanding and wash the parts and everything, so it doesn't all like fall and scrape off. Yeah. Like if you're gonna do this, like, do it right. Like, see if you can actually make a thing of this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I'll have time, but it's
Yeah.
I mean, just stickering that exhaust.
They say time is the fire in which we burn. I'm just going to do it every time somebody says the word time.
So Eric has said in the chat that he feels like Diecast will just disappear someday because debt swallowed him.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of expecting that.
I also got the Takara Legends Blitzwing because I just kept looking at my Takara Legends Octane, and I was like, he needs the Takara Legends Blitzwing to go with him.
Especially if you already have the Octane and the Astro Train, you gotta kind of get the...
I don't have the Astro Train, but I don't really feel like I need him.
Last time I looked, Takara
you should look again.
Was not very expensive.
Yeah, I think you should look at him again, Diecast. I think you do need him.
Diecast, you could put Takara Astro Train on your shopping list for like TFCon or make that a dealer room thing.
Debtor's Prison.
Well, whichever happens first. I understand the dealer room in Debtor's Prison is actually pretty cool.
And then last but not least, I got my cel-shaded Megatron.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like that.
That did not.
Okay.
Good.
That looks like he smeared camouflage on himself to play paintball.
Looks like my 6-year-old did that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so remember the subscription service Pretender Megatron? That looks like what they did to the Inner Robot Legends Megatron that they put in that, and I'm not using that as a favorable comparison here. Yeah, it's really badly executed Arctic camo, and it does not work on that form or, in reality.
Optimus looks great.
I had to get him to go with the Prime, but,
The Prime looks good.
It's bringing that Optimus down, man. Like, you've devalued that Optimus by buying that Megatron.
So I don't know that you said for the podcast listeners, which is like 95% of our audience, what is that exactly?
It's a cel-shaded... masterpiece Megatron.
KO leg.
And who made it?
I don't know.
Why? No.
It came in the KO box.
Okay, so what you're thinking that someone took a knockoff that already exists, did the custom paint on it en masse, repackaged it, and is selling those on Taobao, is what you think is going on.
They're mass done though. So they do them in lots of like 500.
Okay.
The Optimus Prime actually didn't come in a box; it just came in the plastic clamshell. But the Megatron, I guess they figured there was too much because there's 2 or 3 pieces of plastic clamshell in there.
Yeah.
So they actually put it back in the box.
But you don't think that the people that are doing the cell shading deco on these are also manufacturing the toys? You think this is a after the fact thing?
I think so,
That
but
would
I'm
be
not.
my guess.
I'm not
So
really sure.
like third and a half party, I guess.
Yeah. And then the last thing I don't have it. I left it upstairs. But I got. Oh, what's her name? We were just talking about her. The Wave 2.
What, your wife?
Moonracer?
Moonracer.
Moonracer. I got Moonracer on Amazon.com/TFRadio or TFRadio.net/Amazon. There we go. And since Matt got to do something that wasn't Transformers related, I'm going to throw in what I got on Prime Day. I got the Game of Thrones collection.
Is it okay?
Incomplete though it is.
It is?
Well,
Yeah, they're
the
not done
show's
yet.
not over yet.
Oh,
so-
I thought it was done.
No.
Nope.
Nope,
No, they
not
just
yet.
took this year off because they didn't have enough of a budget or something. I don't know.
Oh, well,
Or there
that's
was,
1 through 7. I don't know if that's everything current or.
I
That is
think
current.
I think season 8 starts next year.
Oh, I got
Yeah, each episode is basically a feature-length movie, so they have to take time to get it going.
There may have been scheduling conflicts with the cast or something
Yeah.
too. So.
I actually
And
thought
the,
it was
the
done.
books may not be written yet. and-
Or ever.
Oh no! Okay, so I've heard about this. So George R. R. Martin is not himself confident he will live long enough to finish his book series. So he's actually told
Yeah.
the rough broad strokes of his idea for what the end game is to the show producers. So just in case they do outpace him, they can actually come up with something that aligns with his vision, even if it's not like 100% the same.
Doesn't he?
Oh, they
So
outpaced him 2
HBO
seasons
presents
ago, so...
Trigun, in other words.
Yeah, and doesn't he actually write those like on an old Tandy or something?
Yep. He uses a little handy word processor.
It's crazy.
I mean, go with what you're comfortable with, I guess.
yeah, it's insane.
Like Don with
It
his
seems to be
Lotus-
working. Yeah, it seems to be working for him.
Well, I mean,
He's wealthy.
after a fashion.
He's incredibly wealthy, so I'm certain,
Yeah.
I mean, it's working for him in that, yes, he has written books, but it's also taking him like 10 years between them to actually get from one to the next.
And he still eats. I would love to have the money to have to be able to miss deadlines that hard.
So yeah, that's that. And the car. That's all I got this week. Just a couple things.
Eclissus asks, did they run out of people to kill off or something?
Not yet.
So I need to come up with
No, that'll happen when they bring Simon Furman on to help write.
No, they don't need Simon
Oh,
Furman's
that'd be
help, Don. Trust me.
Simon Furman's Game of Thrones.
That's a horrifying concept, isn't it?
Simon
Ooh.
Simon Furman's Game of Thrones sounds like taking Game of Thrones and running it through like Google Translate to Spanish and then back to English.
I mean,
It could be interesting.
Oh, Triplet didn't like my joke. Uh-oh. He just tweeted at us.
he tweeted at us like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Chris.
What?
I apologize for Brian.
I apologize for Brian's joke.
No, I just
I don't.
apologize for Brian.
That's too late for apologies.
Yeah. Hey, so, anything else
Brian?
I cast?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, what about you, Don?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I
You're trying to say
something.
something to me.
No, I was.
You know
I
what? Don
thought
probably doesn't have anything this week. Let's just move on to this week.
Rob, what'd you get?
No, I have a story first to set this up. Okay.
Picture it. Sicily.
Picture. Thank you. I will do that. I finally got my eBay bucks for the last quarter, which is about $60. What I had geared them for was for, as I've mentioned, I want the Guardian version of Gabriel, which I thought would be out by now. But again, the delay on Gabriel's original release kind of pushed all that back. So that's been delayed. So I was looking at what other item do I want to get. Well, I ran across this item, a very good price from a U.S. seller, The item had been opened for a pictorial for a website, and that was pretty much it. So between my, let's just say, $60 of eBay bucks, the last Wednesday, a 15% off coupon came up for on eBay, which I earned another about $50 off of. I sold an item on eBay that I wasn't expecting for about $50, and I worked several hours of overtime specifically to pay for this figure. So after all is said and done, never walking, never running, I got this. Yeah, no, it's not. No, I said in the tweet, it's not Unicron lamp.
Is it a Legends Beachcomber?
Ooh,
So after all of this,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So after all the planning, after all getting the coupon codes to line up, after getting the shipping done and everything else, I have about $160 in this figure.
So it is Supreme Cheetor.
All total. And after getting all that lined up, all I can say.
So what'd you get, Rob?
All I can say is, oh, thank heaven, 7-Eleven.
Hey!
Oh, Don.
right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good going.
So I have the 7-Eleven Optimus Prime. Box was opened. Everything is complete. Everything is there. Here is the figure with his green energy axe. So it's the MP10 mold again. Came out in Japan. So again, I mentioned how much I love this look of this mold.
It's great.
So basically, I got it for, let's just say, $150 after all the money I made, the eBay fee, the eBay bucks, the little coupon code, and all that. So I have about $150 in this Optimus Prime. Here's the trailer.
I love that. I'm so jealous of you, Don.
I think this is just a gorgeous paint job. Normally, I don't care for a white Prime just because it's Ultra Magnus, but the green really contrasts against the white. The trailer is gorgeous. I love the trailer. I love his watermelon matrix.
Watermelon.
Nice.
Yeah, the Matrix, basically. But if you open this thing, a giant watermelon falls from the sky and gives you armor, probably.
Or you get a Slurpee.
So, yeah, that was... I never figured I would have one because they were always $350, $400 with shipping. There were no KOs of this yet, other than just a plain old white Magnus with a blue energy axe. So, yeah, $150 basically after using the overtime I got in the 7-Eleven Optimus.
It's still one for well over $300. So
yeah.
Cool.
So I'm really happy with that purchase. And I'm looking
so
forward to putting them on the
jealous.
shelf.
That story was totally worth it. Good job, Don.
yeah, Don.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good find.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Okay. This time for real, Rob. Did you get anything?
Not a thing.
Okay.
What
So
an anticlimax.
yeah. Hey, so let's go ahead and jump to this week in history. We'll just let Don talk about this because I think we did this exact same thing last year.
We did.
Yeah, but it's been a whole year, so who remembers? Don, tell us about the first BotCon ever, which happened this week in 1994.
It was like my eyes were opened upon the first time, and I gazed upon the very small dealer room and saw things I had never seen before and did not know existed. I learned about European continuity and the G1, G2 stuff. I learned about the Asian continuity and who Starsaber was. I learned that what Hasbro had planned for the next year for Generation 2, that we didn't get most of it. And I met John and Carl Hartman for the first time, who I consider very good friends, and who really changed the way that I look at Transformers, and probably would not be in the fandom anymore, at least to the degree that I am, without having gone to that first box.
So Don, a question for you. I don't think I asked this last year. So, and think about this when I ask, okay? Would you say this made your life better, or would you say this ruined your life, this experience, in hindsight?
Looking at where I'm at now, with the friends that I've made, the collection I've got, if you'd asked me this probably 10 years ago, I would have probably said ruin, because I was in a worse place then just things weren't going for me, the job, all that stuff. And you just look at, if I hadn't been doing this, I could have been doing so much more. But I'm in a better place now with my work. I have all my internet friends. And again, you all are my friends. My friends on Twitter, they're my friends. They're not in real life, but I'll be honest, some days I'm tired of being around real life people. I like being around people. I like being around people.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I like being around people and interacting socially, but not physically socially, because you're just tired of people after a while, especially when you work retail. So I would say it actually has made my life better now, based on where I'm at now and the friends that I have.
Cool.
And
I have a question for Don, if it's okay.
Okay, someone get the delay ready, just in case.
No. I'm curious, because how did you find out about the first BotCon? You may have told us about this before, but because I didn't find out about BotCons, even though I was a fan of Transformers in 1994, I didn't find out about BotCons till much, much later.
It was Lee's, right, Don?
Yeah, it all started. I wrote a letter to Lee's Action Figure News and Toy Review, which at the time was one of the biggest publications about toys and collecting there was. There wasn't that many.
It was the biggest, wasn't it?
It was the biggest. Well, I couldn't remember. It was Lee's, and there was one other one that I don't remember the name of. That was on the shelf at the same time, but it was a much smaller publication.
Tomart's Action Figure Digest.
Maybe, yeah, it might have been, Tomart's. It was Tomart's. And I sent in a letter asking a couple of questions to the people about, one, did they ever do a Captain Pollution figure for the Captain Planet line? Because I was collecting that at the time. What about RC? Did they ever make an actual RC figure or a prototype? And John Hartman responded, because Lee's had answered in their letter column, again, this is before email, no, that they did not make an RC prototype. One was not made, and then John wrote in and corrected them that the prototype was done. It was just a very basic one and it never went anywhere for that. And then he sent a letter to them, and they forwarded it to me, since they had my address on file, about the first BotCon. And
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if John had not responded to my letter and I had not wrote Action Figure News and Toy Review asking the questions, I wouldn't have known about BotCon until much later. So it was just a very serendipitous chain of events that led me to that first BotCon.
Interesting. I didn't learn about BotCon until 96, and I didn't get to go until 01. I know. I mean... you missed 96. That was the positive.
Well,
yeah, but the thing about like BotCon though, I have a nostalgia for like all those BotCons I didn't go to, because not long after I started going to BotCon, like by the time OTFCC rolled around, BotCon was effectively the BotCon that we would get for the rest of BotCon's run. OTFCC, of course, different cast and crew of people. But, like, the type of fans that went were much more mainstream, and it was less of the hardest of the hardcore, which the earlier BotCons really included. So I really missed out on a lot of that. But, so, there was a chatter about a video of BotCon footage that posted, and this is a new video that posted?
Yeah.
So, what's the source of the video, and what do we know what's included?
I think this is actually the Hartmans digitizing their VHS archives.
That is awesome. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, there's 2 videos up on YouTube right now. Hopefully, Brian can add the URL to that into the show notes posting when the show goes up.
And beyond that, I'll even try to show some.
It'll
let me.
There's a video that's introduction in dealer room, I think, and then one that is, I don't actually remember what the title of that was. But there's about 2.5 hours of video up right now that's taken from their 1.5 hours taken from their VHS archive.
It's only been viewed 22 times. Let's see if we can find
the introduction and collection room video has fairly more views on it than that. I think the hour and 16 on the raw video part 1 is probably a little bit of a barrier to casual viewing right now.
Yeah, it's like a panel.
Also, it was posted 4 hours ago.
Okay. I'm just gonna scrub through and see if we can find Don. Hey, there he is. Is that Don? Is that you right there?
Let me look.
Green shirt. Were you wearing your green
Looks
shirt?
too short.
Yeah, I believe that's me because I'd be sitting up front because of
Up
You
front.
would be up front, yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that didn't take long.
It was like 40 people. It was not that many people went to the first BotCon.
No, but I mean, just randomly jumping through the video to find Don, and you do it in the first 5 seconds. I mean,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and that's Tony Prito right there doing a look at the Japanese collections, I believe.
That is amazing.
Hey Don, from this angle, you look the same.
Well, no, I have more hair there. I have a significant amount of more hair than I do now.
That's amazing. Yeah, we'll link to that.
yeah, we've had an archive photo before of Don from the 90s at a BotCon or Wendy's at BotCon or something, and yeah, Don had a lot more hair then. Otherwise, didn't look too much different. Don has aged remarkably well, apart from the hair loss.
Yeah, Don has. Don is a sexy beast. He really is. But yeah, that's awesome. So I'm glad we were able to show that off, and I'm just so happy that we found Don.
Yeah, and there's one more story I'm going to share. I've told the story before, Brian, and we got to move on, but I was the first person in line for the dealer's room. Duh. But I was standing there at the double doors, and I looked around the corner, and there, sitting there, was an open case of G2 breakdowns, ready to give out to the attendees as part of the thing. And I looked back to the guy that went with me. I believe his name was actually Chris, I think. And I said, "It's G2 breakdown. It's G2 breakdown." And then John peeks out and says, "Shh, don't tell everybody." I said, "Okay." So we went in and we got our G2, and I still have that G2 breakdown, and I will never sell that breakdown. So I don't care. I will never sell that breakdown.
Now, the only people who have been like regulars on the show who went to the first BotCon that I know of would be you, and regular may be a stretch, but back in the day, Dave Edwards Zobivor was there, and I mean I know other people that were there, but we're talking about people like John and Carl, of course, and folks like that.
I think Lyanne was there as well, Brian.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, so many of those people who went to the first BotCon, who were part of that early internet fandom, are no longer around. Was DVD there? I think today's his birthday too. Or yesterday.
There's been so many people, Brian. It's I can remember main people like Raksha was there.
Yeah.
And some other people like Tony Prito. But it's been so long, and my memory is so bad in general. So
24 years ago. Wow. Nice. Okay. Very cool.
And Eric wasn't even born then.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be 36 on Sunday.
I was 15.
I was 10.
I was 15 too. I remember that was during the brief period where I had Prodigy, and I remember reading a report from someone who went to that on Prodigy and thinking that was just an amazing thing, and I would love to get to go to one of those one day.
Yeah.
Whoa, 94, I was 12.
Yeah. I didn't have internet at that point, so yeah, it would be another 4 years before I had internet at home. Boo. Yeah, times have changed. Hey, okay, so yeah, I know, right? So let's move ahead. Big news: Dancing Bee. I have ABBA stuck in my head now.
You are a dancing bee.
Well, yeah. So,
boy.
Why is this the big news?
it's a Bumblebee toy. I don't know.
Irony.
These are the jokes, folks.
It doesn't look like it can dance.
Yeah, it can. Look, he's got his arms out.
He can dance if he wants. If he wants to leave his,
It looks like he can
friends don't dance.
put his arms
don't
up
dance.
and down.
That's dancing these days, dude. You're old.
He puts his arms in the air like he just doesn't care.
yeah.
Come on, Diecast.
Look at that.
It looks like a soap bottle toy with moving
I
arms.
kind of hate it. I'll be honest with
But
you.
there will be a picture of you on Twitter buying at Walmart in 3 months.
Yeah. Kind of hate it.
The
But
kids will love it.
yeah, that was something that was announced. Was this what was announced through Game Informer?
No, that was the Cyberverse or the War for Cybertron stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this says read on to see the images and more details by the way of Game Informer. So yes.
Oh, huh.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, Donald.
JT Prime says Studio Series Deluxe
Yeah,
WWDB.
I saw.
Oh,
So, I mean, Game Informer really confuses me. I thought they're about games.
So here's the thing. So they are a media outlet, and they are a large media outlet. Yeah, they talk about games, but they also want exclusive information to drive people to their website, and they have leverage with Hasbro's PR to do that.
They are owned by GameStop, who sell a lot of Hasbro toys at this point.
Yeah.
We need to get an RFC exclusive reveal. Then we can put it on our website and drive traffic to our website.
We get a lot of updates about Forge to Fight. We could say those are exclusive. Yeah. So yeah, no, but yeah. So there's that. What else? Yeah, I don't really care about that. So we do have information about Generations 2019 War for Cybertron and possibly more leaked. This was what you guys did an extra on, though. So
not all of it. Because
the first link there is not anything we covered because that all came out after.
So
of course it did.
So I probably should have mentioned up front is there was an RFC extra this past weekend about the War for Cybertron information that came out last week via was Entertainment Weekly. Whoever
Game Informer.
The other Game Informer info. So basically, there's a new Optimus Prime. We have Target Masters Sideswipe, who looks very much like. I'd feel remiss if we don't actually talk a little bit about that. On the podcast, you guys shared your opinions on how these things look, and it wasn't incredibly overwhelmingly positive.
It's not what we expected.
Yeah, it's not what we expected, considering
it's not what they led us to believe.
Nothing was exactly Cybertronian mode. So basically, you have.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick right now. It wasn't what they led us to believe. Of course, I wasn't interested in what they led us to believe.
Nor were you interested in what you got.
No, I probably would have liked this stuff more if it wasn't covered in stupid battle damage paint deco.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we saw an Optimus Prime. We saw a Sideswipe. Sideswipe looked more or less like a standard sports car.
Yeah,
Optimus Prime had this weird fog lights thing on the top of the cab, which looked a little weird, but it definitely was.
He looks like a built to rule toy.
Yeah, but it's definitely not a Cybertronian mode Optimus Prime.
No.
Yeah, so it's odd. But hey, Target Masters.
Yeah,
which are engineered remarkably similarly to the car ones, but are entirely different things.
No knees.
So honestly, you said that I wasn't on the podcast, but when I was listening to it, I was responding back.
Of course.
You said that one of you guys, said, hey, they're like Target Masters. I'm like, well, I don't know what Target Masters are, but these are exactly like Power Core Combiners. So that's sort of where my brain went. I love Power Core Combiners, and it died. But yeah, I love seeing Target Masters back in any way that I can get them.
I just wish they weren't priced at $6 and apparently just the little barely posable Target Master figure with some blast effect.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't think. Okay, so Titan's Return with the Titan Masters with their little transforming vehicle weapon things felt pretty good at the $5 price point. It felt like you got a lot of toy out of that. I went on record early in Power of the Prime saying that the Prime Masters did not really feel that engaging as a toy concept, but compared to these Battle Masters, if they are what we've been shown and nothing more, Prime Masters are, again, that same step up in value as a toy over what these Battle Masters look like they're going to be. It's very disheartening.
I think they're actually getting dangerously close to pricing me out at this point.
Yeah, I know, right?
But not diecast.
No, I'm in.
He'll get his and baggies off Taobao. It'll be fine.
At least we have diecast.
I don't know how I feel about them though, because they're not really Cybertronian. They're more futuristic, I guess.
They're 84, so that's not futuristic.
What's that?
They're slightly modified 84s.
It's 34 years ago, so it's in the past.
I don't know. The Prime. I want to see something other than Prime and Sideswipe before I make some decisions.
Well, I want to see the rest of what this line looks like to see if it's any different. Because Sideswipe looks like an Earth concept car, and like I said in the thing, Prime is a Cybertronian 1976 white Freightliner cab over truck.
Yeah, I mean it's a great looking Prime figure, but the vehicle mode is kind of trash.
Yeah. And I want to see Takara versions with better paint jobs. I think we're all going to be disappointed.
Good luck.
I also kind of think, just looking at this. Sorry, Don. You go.
No, I'm gonna say Chris summed it up best when he and I were talking. And he summed it up by saying, "If this was like a trailer for a movie, the trailer is making me not want to go see the movie. There's nothing there to interest me."
Yeah,
that's how. I mean, again, we're not judging the whole line. We're just saying what we're seeing here. There's like bare minimal interest in what we're seeing.
I think we got to do something really exciting to get us into these figures, because you're looking at this list. It's like, the normal characters. The one thing that's popping out to me, and it's just because I'm a Jetfire Skyfire fan, is they're going to do another leader Jetfire.
Well,
now,
let's talk about that when we get onto that news item. But before we move on to that, I just want to say, in terms of it not doing a whole lot to interest me, this line, from what we can see so far, I'm almost kind of okay with that, because that's going to make it a lot easier for me to feel like I can sit back and just cherry pick out a few things from this line that really do catch my interest, or that I feel really need updates in my collection.
That's true.
And there's some candidate stuff in the next item we're going to talk about that have me looking in that direction. But I think I'm kind of ready to just kind of sit back and take a less hands-on approach with a Generations line. I think I'm at that point right now.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a very pick-and-choose line, and I'm going to save a lot of money this time.
Okay, so Chris, you wrote the article. Tell us about it.
Okay, so Amazon Australia, this is another thing we talked about. We touched on a little bit with what we had at the time in the RFC Extra. They have accidentally or not put up a lot of product listings for upcoming Transformers toys, seemingly offered by Amazon US, but through the Amazon Australia storefront. It's a complicated thing that I won't get into. If you want more detail on that, I'd go into that in the RFC Extra, so check that out. So at the time of the Extra recording, we had information about Micromaster team sets of some sort or another. Then right after that Extra recorded, I think the very next evening, this whole new batch of stuff came out, which has a bunch of Deluxes, Voyagers, Leaders, and I think some more Cyberverse stuff based on the names and price points I can infer from this. So we've got a fairly good cross-section of what I think is 2019's product line. It's not anywhere near as extensive as the infamous Skype slides from last summer, but we're verging. Let's see. Which is this the right link? So let's talk about Diecast's Leader Class Jetfire. I think that's a Studio Series toy, not Generations. That and Shockwave.
Oh, darn it!
That's disappointing to me, because a Shockwave update is something that I am incredibly interested in.
I think, given the stated intention with the Studio Series, it's more likely for a Leader Class Shockwave to fall there, because that would fit in with the size charts we have of the relative robot heights. Because Shockwave was a bigger character, not that you would really have a clear indication of that from the screen time, not that Matt would know about that one way or the other. Yeah. And Jetfire would be the same thing. It would need to be bigger, a Leader Class toy, just because Jetfire was big and turns into a large vehicle. It all kind of balances itself out.
Hey, just for the record,
which I'm actually okay with that, because I wouldn't want a Leader Class G1 Shockwave anyway.
Right,
I feel that's
exactly.
much more of a Voyager level toy.
And just for the record, I'm looking at the tfradio.net right now, and it was next week when the leak happened in 2017. So
Yes,
Yep.
it was
After
the week
SDCC.
immediately
after
following
SDCC.
SDCC.
Yeah.
So
Which-
it
and
could still
probably-
happen.
And probably whoever had that stuff to post was holding on to it from before SDCC last year and was waiting to see what was actually revealed before going with the whole rest of that load of stuff.
I believe
would
we
guess.
managed to find out. I believe we managed to determine at the time the presentation itself was made at some point in June.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound familiar, although I can't remember what information we may have used to determine that.
So XP on this
I should go back and
list-
look at that stuff. Yes.
on this list where it says deluxe cog action figure, would that be
Yeah.
Cogman?
No, that would be
Cog.
Cog, which was that was Fortress Maximus's little helper dude.
Yeah, and if you notice, 6 guns listed in there as well. So
Yeah.
from Metroplex. So that's interesting.
Those I would totally buy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, yeah, I would not mind a cog to kind of help enhance that Fortress Maximus a little further.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I broke these listings up in the article based on what I could infer they probably represented in terms of line. So there's 6 items we have here at the deluxe price point, which I think are generations. There's another 6 that look like Studio Series stuff, and then 3 more which I couldn't quite conclusively say would go to one or the other.
No.
But we have like the cog we were talking about, a new deluxe hound, Ironhide, Prowl, apparently another sideswipe because the product code on that is different from the one in the reveal photos from Game Informer. So probably a redeco G2 hopefully. And then
Yeah,
the
give me a
6 guns we were
GameStop
talking about.
exclusive G2 sideswipe, something
So,
like that.
so what's the over under on 6 gun being a parts former? Pretty low, but maybe
I mean-
maybe it does both.
Well, if he transforms into 6 guns again, I would say pretty good.
I could see them being able to engineer that where it can transform between a tank and some kind of goofy a goofy tank in a robot mode, and also be able to be taken apart at various points on, like, sliding mushroom pegs or something.
So
and
kind
turn weapons.
of a mix between 6 gun and slammer.
Or I'm even thinking maybe like a God Bomber somehow. Hopefully not.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah, you could even do it with ball joints. I would say if the
True.
sculpt was right. But
Yeah, I was thinking the mushroom pegs would make a cleaner and more secure result because, the more you take the ball joints apart, the less tension they have on them every time you put them back together.
that's true.
And then we have several Studio Series things here, which are almost all code-named. But we do have Barricade, which would probably be Dark of the Moon or 2007 movie design, if not what he's going to look like in the Bumblebee movie. And then Dino or Mirage from Dark of the Moon, which, maybe they got the licensing with Ferrari worked out finally. I wouldn't hold my breath, but maybe it'll be something more accurate than the Takara one, which was just a redeco of Revenge of the Fallen Sideways.
Yeah.
So the mystery ones for me here, we have Deluxe Crankcase, Hightower, and Drift. So, Crankcase could go movie or Generations because we've had that character name used in both. Drift can go either way. Hightower does not really have an immediate connection with Generations unless you assume it's some character whose name they could not get the use for. But at the same time, in the movies, the only Hightower that exists was one of the Constructicons that barely existed on screen, and from what I've seen, should be bigger than a deluxe anyway, so I can't really call this one way or the other. The problem is Drift and Hightower's product codes put them in an assortment together, so whichever one is one thing, the other one is two.
One thing I want to point out, just looking at this again, that had not occurred to me before, the Energon or the Nitro Blue LT, that one.
Yeah.
Nitro is the name of the largest class in the new Energon Igniter series for the Bumblebee movie. It is the $20 price point, and there is that new character that is a blue car. Don't know if they're a blue LTD, but they are a blue 80s car. I don't remember the character's name either, even though I'm pretty sure I wrote that report on tformers.com. They have not announced that character at that size class yet, but that may be a clue as to what's coming in future assortments for the Energon Igniters line.
So there's Red Lightning listed down there too, which some people were speculating was the companion character for the blue one you're referencing.
Yeah.
There's a possibility these represent like alternate vehicle forms, like maybe start out with aircraft forms, transition to cars, or the other way around, which could also point to changing between size classes, for instance. So, yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in interpreting some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I mean, you raised a good point, though, because looking at this, the product code is fairly far off of all the other ones, so I could see that being actually part of a different line.
Yeah, that just makes it weird that Red Lightning number is so different from its, unless Nitro Blue Lightning is one, and then the Red Lightning is a Studio Series deluxe. That would explain that.
Yeah. The only other interesting thing here is at the leader price point, there is Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime, which have consecutive product code numbers, suggesting they're in assortment together. Obviously, there's not an Ultra Magnus to point to in the movie, so we have to assume that's a Generations leader listing. So maybe a new leader Ultra Magnus coming.
Hope so.
In an assortment with Optimus Prime.
Well,
Interested to see how that'll end up working out.
Because
I wonder if we could finally be getting, considering there's a Voyager Optimus Prime mold, I wonder if we could just be finally getting a leader class as a Voyager with trailer at the $50 level for each of those.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
I wonder if they could actually make that work within the budget. Because, there's not a ton of plastic mass and moving parts difference between a Voyager and a Leader at this point, sad as that is.
Yeah, I mean, possibly I'm thinking that maybe releasing it as a Voyager as well could help bring the cost down on that tooling, but maybe not enough. That's going to be interesting.
Let's confuse things more and bring back the Mega price point.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So for people watching the video, I skipped ahead to an item that we sort of jumped ahead to, and I was showing off the pictures from last week's Game Informer article. Breaking news. We have the Hasbro booth at SDCC. Photos are already up on Weibo. That sure is a big bumblebee right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what price point that is.
that's the if you have to ask, you can't afford it price point.
Yeah.
I'd say it's
let's
about
not
3
for
Unicron
diecast.
lamps.
That's the Unicron lamp price point.
And what's this?
Okay, so that's recolor / retool of Lockdown in either orange or red. We can never be sure with the lighting they have at these exhibits.
That's true.
But what?
Looks orange, but it could very possibly be red.
What would he be?
Well, that's a Viacon head.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got the dome face and the green mask.
I'd be down for
that's
a
Lockdown's mask also, though, isn't it?
Well, they used that to sell what was it, the Fast Action Battlers or whatever equivalent retools of that as Viacons. I don't remember if they did that at any capacity with the actual normal deluxe toy. Takara might have.
That's interesting.
Okay. Some of these just I have no interest in. It's a new Ratchet with a little bit of gray, or same Ratchet. I'm sorry, with a little bit of gray.
Redeco.
And then they got a blue Stinger.
I think that Ratchet's supposed to be the Dark of the Moon deco.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Except not dead.
Not yet.
Yeah.
That later movie.
Oh, that was Age of Extinction.
Yeah, that was Age of
AOE, okay. Those horrible movies all run together. Throne of the Primes. That Bumblebee set that I need so bad. I wish that was on Amazon's portal right now at tfradio.net/Hasbro Comic Con.
JT Prime in the chat says, going by the head and the coloration, that orange lockdown is probably supposed to be one of the KSI drones.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about each one of these photos, or can I just mention something?
Just
on
talk.
one
Just
that
talk away.
Okay, I see punch/counterpunch. It drives me nuts. They always have him in the same pose, kind of hunched down, like he's,
Spying.
because he's basically, if you stand him straight up, he looks like he's on stilts.
Yeah, like I said, there's no way around that, because if you when you stand him straight up, the gap in the leg necessary to make that knee bend in both directions is going to be painfully apparent. So
Why couldn't they just
really don't
put-
have anything to do with that.
Why couldn't they have just put another knee joint right above that blue piece of plastic that they're using
more.
as the knee right now?
Parts count.
Parts count, which, the other solution would be to put a, flap up on each side that you could fold up to better mask that from the front. But again, just, the parts count.
I like
Yeah,
bow-legged
too much
Transformers, so I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, diecast. Let's deconstruct this a little bit. You're nitpicking hardcore on a toy that has 2 robot modes and a vehicle mode is not compromised as a combiner or a headmaster. Like, they've given us what should be the perfect punch counterpunch update that we have not gotten through 3 attempts in the last 10 years. Like, I think you can accept a gap around the knee
It's
for $25.
it's not the gap. It's the, I guess, the height or the length of the legs that bothers me. I think it's a great figure. I just have that one nitpick about it.
Hey,
I understand. It's an awkward
Diecast
pose.
Diecast can pick his battles about knees, because, I'm throwing a fit about battle damage paint. So
Yeah.
And
Aaron, well, no, battle damage paint is objectively offensive, and we need to take a stand here and not let that infect our children.
As an initial deco, it is horrible. As a subsequent deco, it's fine.
Right.
So, talking about these toys, Triplet got his blast off today.
I'm
You're
sorry.
going to show the next picture, right?
What was the next picture?
His next tweet.
Oh, let's just go to Chris's Twitter.
He adds a little something to make it a little better.
Okay.
Oh, that's Steve Austin, that figure that I got
Yep.
him for Christmas one year. That is awesome.
That's perfect.
Well, see, that's how he winds up being the $6 million man. He falls off, blast off, and has to get reconstructed.
Too bad it's not Freddie Mercury.
I like his Nemesis Prime with the Jason Voorhees mask.
That is nice.
yes.
I love that carded Bumblebee. The G1. I mean, that's just so neat to me.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
Mhm.
With the Encore head sculpt.
Yeah, I want that.
What are we talking about?
In one of the pictures, you can see the G1 reissue Bumblebee.
Oh, I see right there, yeah.
Yeah,
I want
and
that.
there's been a larger picture of that going around, and yeah, it has the Encore cartoon-inspired head sculpt.
So,
Yeah.
So
that Devastator
Yeah,
show...
all those are just lifts from the Encore releases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Devastator is showing up tonight, apparently, on Walmart's website for $75. Yeah.
I love how they did the product shot because someone forgot to turn the legs on one of the figures. So you have like 5 of them are all the same height except the one they forgot to turn the legs on, and he's a little short
Scrapper.
Yeah.
Scrapper.
guy.
Yep.
Like I love when they do product shots.
Well, that's pretty much all their product shots. You must love it a lot, because
I love them. I can't help it. They make me smile.
I can't wait to actually see these in store.
Do you think we
Yeah.
will see them in store though?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe like in a clearance end cap or something.
Maybe the mini bots. Those will be cheap
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, those huge Transformer sections at Walmart, they have so much room. I mean,
Yeah,
there's-
I mean they
there-
could easily put something in there. How much are the mini bots supposed to be? Like $10 a piece?
Somewhere between 6 and 10. Yeah, we're not exactly sure because I haven't looked at the IGN article. All we had to go on before that was the Robot Kingdom posting, which, hard to say how close they are accurate to the SRP.
And honorary RFC member and reporter for the night, JT Prime 17, who we've gone back to many times. Appreciate your diligence. He says that all of the reissues are supposed to go up for pre-order tonight. So,
well, that's going to get expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
For the 5 people who don't own these already.
Well, I think I only want the mini bots.
That's that's your budget option right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what else we got going on. So we have the breaking news. We already talked about War for Cybertron. So Masterpiece Megatron is going to get a U.S. distribution. What?
No way.
Yeah, just like the Animation Colors Prowl, it's going to go through the specialty retail chain or retail system. Entertainment Earth currently has that up at $319. I assume that's why Big Bad Toy Store also updated their price from $330 to about $320 because this distribution happened and lowered their price a little bit.
Okay.
I was thinking like Walmart. The G1 Masterpiece Megatron. I was like, no.
No. Yeah, no. MP43, not MP36.
Yeah, 36.
Wars. Beast Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, Beast Wars.
Let's see here.
Yeah, so it's gonna go to your comic shops and other specialty shops like that, but not for much cheaper at all.
Well, I will say some of the comic shops. Well, what is it, Don? You know what do they give you? 20% off if you pre-order. So if their price is
just on issues.
Yeah, it depends on the shop. Most of the time on collectibles and stuff, there's very little discount because of the margins are already so thin on those. With the comics, that if you do most places, like if you do 5 to 10, you get 10, 10 to 20, you get it varies from shop to shop.
Let's see here. New movie Masterpiece figures. What? So what are we getting? Unknown character, Ironhide.
Who we knew about, I believe.
Yeah.
Jazz. We're getting Jazz.
Jazz is Studio Series. Jazz has shown up at Target. From I read an article.
Movie Masterpiece.
Oh, okay.
I would take a movie Masterpiece Jazz.
I would want it to come in 2 parts.
But here's the thing, though.
Maybe it'll split apart.
I don't know if a movie Masterpiece would be much better than the Human Alliance Jazz, because that's a pretty good figure.
Probably wouldn't be.
I also find it odd that movie Masterpiece Jazz, if that's what MPM7 actually would turn out to be, would be 10,000 yen.
It's also weird that the release date they give for it is before MPM6, which is just bizarre.
They've been weird with Masterpiece designations. Takara has. Is this Hasbro?
These are Takara listings. The place that posted these has been reasonably reliable with posting listings early.
Yeah.
It's too certain to say that they're 100% accurate.
Gotcha. Yeah, but they've been weird with the numbering lately for Masterpiece, sorta. Yeah.
I don't think they've ever done them like that out of order, though. So that may be an error of some sort.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe Hasbro has a certain time frame in mind for when they want Ironhide to come out. Even though that's an earlier serial number, Jazz is something that would be, or whatever MPM7 is if it's not Jazz, is something that's not so restricted, and so it's just going to be happenstance that actually makes it to market first.
Wait, could it be the movie Bumblebee that we were seeing a masterpiece of?
October would make sense for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would call that new character. Of course, we know MPM6 is Ironhide, and they're calling that new character. So
yeah,
I mean, I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, the part calling it Jazz is absolutely speculation, so that could well be.
Just not our speculation, as far as I know.
No.
So that movie Masterpiece, I think I may be skipping ahead, but the movie Masterpiece Barricade.
It's on Amazon for pre-order now.
So it was up for pre-order, but my pre-order was canceled.
Oh.
Ooh.
So
that's interesting.
Now this is a new pre-order, and I'm making a URL for it right now. So
I was going to say, because I looked at this 2 hours ago, and it was up.
Yeah, so, but the old one from a couple months ago.
Okay.
Just disappeared, so this will be tfradio.net/barricade. If you want to
and it's saying that it will be released on September 15th.
Yeah.
For $79.99.
Are you sure? I have it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yours came in a baggie.
No, it did not. It came in a box.
In a baggie.
It's just the boxes usually get crushed in shipping.
So when it comes to sites getting exclusives, Geek Dad has been given an
Never
exclusive.
heard of it.
I thought Geek Dad was somebody that that followed me on Twitter, but I guess it's not. So when I saw this shared, I don't know who I may know Geek Dad, I may not. But it is Energon Igniters, and there are multiple VW bugs.
Yes, there's a VW bug at not quite every size class. Well, technically every size class, but not every price point, because the top 2 size classes for this actually come with the igniter pieces. So that there's just like a middle class, which is ridiculous, where it's the same size as the next one up, but it actually comes with the igniter part, which the one below it does not.
Yeah, weird.
Which,
If you don't need the electronics, you can save some money.
well, they're not even electronics. They're basically elaborate cyberplanet keys.
Well, if you don't need teeth,
Are they going to spark?
Yeah, I was hoping that was the case, but I guess not.
I wish, but here's the thing that bothers me about these. Okay, so we've got the 4 size classes are Speed, which are basically Cyberverse Legion. Probably they're said to be about 3 inches tall.
Yep.
$6 each. That's about right for that too. Which there are Hot Rod, Barricade, Bumblebee, VW Bug, and Optimus Prime. The next size class up is the Power class, 5 inches. Bumblebee, Hot Rod, one of the new car. The blue car is Dropkick, and Megatron.
Here's the weird thing: Megatron is in his tank mode from Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that not all of these characters are going to appear in the movie. I get the feeling that Optimus Prime is in the body we see just because he repeats across 3 different size classes, and that's what I'm getting at with this, is that across the three different sizes and 4 different price points, there are 7 characters.
You know, I could totally see. Well, the last one just kind of messed it up for me. But I could totally see every one of these being in the Bumblebee movie, because we've already seen that blue car, I think. Mm-hmm. And then the Hot Rod is a older style vehicle, so that's
well,
credible.
okay. So don't read too much into Hot Rod here, because in the Speed class, in the Power class, Hot Rod is an obvious retool of the blue car. And in the Speed class, it's just a redeco of Barricade.
Oh yeah.
So, like Rob was saying, don't expect that everything you see here is going to be in the movie. This is probably just expansion of the line with assumed popular characters.
Yeah,
now,
but
if we see a Hot Rod toy, if we see a Hot Rod toy in a period-specific vehicle form that's unique to Hot Rod, that would be a different matter. But as long as it's just a redeco or retool of something else existing in the wave, like Barricade is like 99. Well, no, we know actually because Jess Harnell let it slip. Barricade's going to be in the movie, so the Barricade toy made there is for the movie,
right?
But Hot Rod's incidental because it kind of fits,
and because they're using the what we'll say the classic Camaro a couple times throughout this line. I would say by the end of the movie, he's going to turn into the classic Camaro to kind of put us right into the next, the original Transformers.
So you think,
Michael Bay
the last scene in the movie is going to jump 20 years?
No, I don't think it's going to jump 20 years, but I think he will scan probably before the last scene of the movie. He'll scan and turn into a Camaro, and then maybe fight with Hot Rod, because we know Hot Rod and Bumblebee were new acquaintances before, back in the day. Back in the day. So I think most of these characters could show up.
most
in
of
the
these
movie.
only 7 characters.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the only one the only one I'm trying to rule out showing up is Hot Rod and Megatron, just because it doesn't really fit with anything right now.
I think Hot Rod's plausible. Megatron, that would be weird for him to be in his Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, especially while he's frozen under Hoover Dam.
Yeah. And then
Time travel!
the other one, that police car looking one on the
Barricade.
bottom. Is that Barricade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. He reminded me of that tow truck from what was that, Dark of the
yeah.
Moon?
No, the tow truck was
Revenge
the
of the
first movie
Fallen.
line.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, actually, speaking of upcoming stuff leaked from Cybertron, Hasbro Pulse, we have a Revenge of the Fallen Starscream that's coming out to the studio series.
Oh, that's terrible.
I hate the design.
If
Yeah.
I was gonna get that toy, it'd be the first release where it's actually like, a clean-looking jet.
Yeah.
That's
Because the
what I
jet's
did.
the only thing I really care about. I like F-22s as a design. I'm not really into the Starscream movie robot design,
Yeah,
though.
the robot looks terrible. Just never cared
People
for it.
seem to like the toy, but I'm not going to spend $30 on something I'm only interested in less than half of.
Yeah. So, but hey, that's something.
And certainly not this Redeco.
Speaking of terrible decos,
Hey, good segue.
Oh boy!
So,
Hey, this is what Matt's been asking for.
is
Yeah,
it?
Matt had some thoughts about this.
Matt, just tell us about this. So, what are we getting?
Okay, so TFC Toys
You could hear the
is-
face home in his voice. It's great.
is releasing their Poseidon figure again in a new paint deco, but it's a black and purple paint deco, which has never existed on the Seacons, even though they have pre-existing paint decos. Like,
There's 4, right? Total. There's G1. There's I guess 3.
God Neptune.
No, God. Yeah, King Poseidon.
Well, King Poseidon is just Piranacon.
Yeah. So no, God Neptune. What's has the Takara? Not Takara. The club version.
G2 basically.
Yeah, but is it just another Piranacon, or is it
Just Piranacon, as far as I know.
so there are 3 decos?
Yeah, and they've chosen to release it in all black and purple. I don't get this.
I mean, it's
Why?
pretty.
When there are when there are pre-existing decos,
Yeah.
would you do this?
Hey, you did not
Pre-existing rate
clarify a
decos.
color.
there's a black and purple, but there's also just a pure black version, or as Eric called it the other night, test shot Poseidon.
Yeah, the God Neptune. I love God Neptune, and I really love the club version as well. Yeah, I don't see the need for this.
I didn't mention this at all, Diecast. I always specified Hasbro. This is third party. This does not count towards hashtag Seacons before Unicron.
Yeah.
I'm forced to agree.
Or hashtag God Neptune before Unicron, or hashtag King Poseidon before Unicron.
You didn't. I don't think you specified. My hashtag does not specify. If we get a good third party, I'll be happy.
I tagged Hasbro in it when I made it. So,
you mean your pound sign doesn't specify?
Yes, my
Get it
pound
right.
sign does not specify.
Just because you're satisfied with, fake ass toys, diecast, doesn't mean that me and Matt are ready to go that route.
Yep. So, I don't think we have a news item for it, but I'm going to mention it because I just found it. Yeah, we are getting. There's an official photo of the Lynx mode, but we're getting a Skylynx third party, and this is from Mastermind, and it looks really nice.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So,
I've been
and
wanting
everyone's
a
saying it's
Skylynx for
masterpiece
so long.
scale. For everyone saying it's masterpiece scale, reformatted is not masterpiece. It's more chug scale.
yeah,
But it's still going to be like nice.
Yeah.
and big.
a masterpiece scale Skylynx would be gigantic.
yeah. I can't say that I need it because I have a perfectly serviceable Generations version, but it looks really nice.
Yeah. Does anyone know ETA, estimated release date on this? Pricing, anything?
I
Nothing?
don't think we know anything yet.
Do we want to hold on? Do we want to mention this?
I really
Probably
really
not.
don't.
No.
I have not been able to confirm it anyway, so don't.
Okay. I'm loath to mention it either way. So
Yeah, so don't.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll know more tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
tfradio.net/live at about 2 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be talking about everything we've seen so far.
So
Yeah.
Yipper.
Tung Mung EX. Okay. The
name's actually written in Chinese, but I can't reproduce that on T-formers, so I went with the pronunciation phonetics.
TMT-01. It is a Dark of the Moon sound wave that looks super impressive.
Yeah, so let's get that out of the way. It looks like a really nicely crafted thing. At the same time, though, I feel like making a movie masterpiece of Soundwave that's unofficial is probably not the best idea, because that seems like it would really be on the short list.
Yeah. And also
Or an official one.
It has their Mercedes logo on it. Never a good idea to include
Not
logos.
really.
I will admit this does look better than the Human Alliance one because it had those really weird legs that didn't really work for the character. Just these odd kind of chicken feet legs.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody told me this was like studio series or official, I would believe it.
Yeah,
I mean, really nice. Or movie masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, it's a much better look, because like I said, for Jazz, Human Alliance Jazz is a great figure. This is a better Soundwave than what we saw for Human Alliance, but having that symbol on there is kind of like a bullseye.
Yeah,
literally.
It looks phenomenal. So, not my speed, being third party for the most part. I'm mostly done with third party, and not my speed when it comes to movie stuff, but it looks really nice. Okay, what else do we have going on? Predaking upgrade kit from DNA Design.
Thank goodness. I knew someone was going to do it.
Includes new wings, wing attachment, swords for the bots, a hammer.
Rob, you had some thoughts on this, didn't you?
Who, me?
Rob.
Oh, what did I have thoughts about?
Predaking upgrade kit.
Yeah, just the wings. The wings and the sword. I mean, Predaking needs a sword. The stock Power of the Primes Predaking does not have one, but just I really feel like the longer wings and the sword just make that waist look even more narrow, which
I'm
helpful.
surprised there isn't something to go around that waist as a filler piece. Like
I was
going to
say that,
clips
yeah.
on the back.
A girdle that does the opposite of a girdle.
Yes.
Really surprised they didn't
a
beef up
shattered
that
glass
waist.
girdle that makes you bigger. Yeah, I mean, because they could have easily found something that would flip, that would just wrap around the waist, and like just a square piece of plastic with some connecting teeth, just to give some more width on that waist, and they didn't.
Hey, so Jesse Wittenrich has on Twitter photos from the SDCC booth of what's that hound?
Hound, and he says road handler, I believe.
I can't make out. Oh,
Let's see.
Road Handler is from one of the Decepticon Micromaster teams.
Actually, no, Autobot. He's one. He's the wrestler one.
gotcha.
That sure is a G1 hound.
What were we expecting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a blue Micromaster Patrol attached to Hound and Sideswipe. And what's interesting is that it also looks like a Micromaster Patrol comprised of hands and feet.
Oh, I see it now.
Yes, there is like legs attached to Hound and an arm on Sideswipe's arm, and
Is that Cog?
I think it used to be. they kind
Before the
of
accident.
they kind of movie Jetfired him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. So,
Yeah.
okay, so I get the feeling that Cog and Six Gun are probably going to end up sharing a mold there. Just As
Well,
a
we know they
guess.
can do a lot with alternate parts,
Yeah.
so maybe not the worst
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
And so basically, they're going to just just Gatai and become armor and weapons for everybody across your. Basically, they're doing the BMOG thing. They're just looks like they're just pulling the figures apart and scattering the body parts around as weapons.
Yeah.
Man, is it sad when I'm starting to agree with Chris about thinking, there's a lot of stuff in this wave I probably, or in this line that I might not have to buy.
Yeah, I just don't need a whole lot of this stuff. It looks like.
I'm actually more okay with Cog, being dismembered and used as accessories because it's the closest thing to creativity we've seen in this line so far. Whatever this hound, yeah, it is. But the sad thing to me is that whatever this hound ends up looking like is going to be completely 100% superfluous because Universe Hound was basically perfect.
Close, yeah.
I always loved the thing they did with his legs turning into seats. I thought that was just that was fantastic. I
don't need to replace Hound.
No.
So we'll have more on that tomorrow. So I really need to get this show done and posted tonight. Hey, so Fans Toys, is this a new toy? I thought this was an old toy. It's FT17
They
Hoodlum.
announced it forever.
Yeah,
ago,
they announced it a long time ago.
First color pictures.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
No. It looks better than the actual Takara one that I have, but
Yeah, I considered even when I saw it getting it because I think it does look better and I already have the Takara version, but I'm like, I don't really need a new hot rod that bad.
no, I'm good for a while.
Hey, I love Fans Toys, and the hot rod, the actual robot looks good. The car, not so much.
And,
I think Carl's fine.
The car is okay, but the more pronounced spoiler just doesn't look quite right on the back of it. It either needs to slide forward, or you need just a slightly less pointy one for vehicle mode.
Yeah. And from the back, the back end's a little bit too high, and the wheels are kind of a little bit more exposed from the back end that I would like.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
But hey, maybe the bottom of this one won't scrape across your table as you roll it.
That'd be good.
So I'm actually retweeting that Jesse tweet right now.
But we won't have that till January, probably. Its estimated release is December, so that's going to get pushed back.
Well, I mean, it's Fans Toys.
Yeah.
And did they say which year?
They did say 2018. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Don.
I'll be honest. Hot Rod has never been a big focal point. Yes, I've got all the protector armors, but that's slightly different. But other than the spoiler part that y'all pointed out, I think it makes a really, really nice looking hot rod. I want to see how it transforms.
It's not going to be the way you want it to.
I know it won't. But but the profile,
any of the ways you want it to.
Yeah. But the profile in robot mode is really just, it looks great. I'm very tempted for this, but I might wait to see if they do a Target Master version just to sort of change things up a little bit. But I think it looks great in profile. It's just the spoiler is a little too big for vehicle mode.
Rodimus face is really nice too.
Oh yeah.
Rodimus Prime face.
Wait, does it have one?
Yeah.
It's got an alternate face.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird.
Because next to MP10, he's about the same size as MP10, so
which is also wrong to me
for Rodimus. For Rodimus Prime, though.
But this is still Rod.
Well, remember, in a lot of the fiction, he finally gave up the Matrix, but still was like Rodimus and not Rodimus Prime. But he was still older and bigger, so I can see why they're trying to do that. Oh, it was in some of the Fun Pub stuff. It was in.
Okay, but where did it really happen?
Okay. Hey, so guess what? Thank you to everybody out there who participated in Prime Day. Because Prime Day was awesome for the most part when it worked.
Yeah,
but
for the 5 minutes.
For the 5 minutes, but we appreciate everybody out there who ordered something. I used the Podvocacy link to order a tablet for my kids. So,
thank you.
Yes, hopefully that helped. But there's a lot of stuff up there that's still not even necessarily Prime Day stuff. Nemesis Prime is still there for order. tfradio.net/nemesis. Blast Off is available, which popped up this past weekend at tfradio.net/blast.
Popped up and went down.
But it's back up. Yeah, but no, a lot of these did. They went up, then they completely sold through super quick. Repugnus went up at tfradio.net/repugnus. Punch Counterpunch at tfradio.net/punch. And you can actually find all of that stuff at Hasbro's Comic-Con portal, which is at tfradio.net/Hasbro Comic-Con. And there are shirts and stuff to go along with toys, and there's some My Little Pony stuff. I ordered one of the... Which one was it? Let me see if I can show it. The Punch Counterpunch Blast Off and Repugnus shirt, which I thought looked pretty cool, which is this one right here. Let's see if it'll load. So I really like that.
Yeah, I like how the colors work together on that one. That's one I might get my son. I think he'd like that.
Yeah, and they're $20. Of course, if you want to spend $20 on a shirt, you can also go to tfradio.net/shirts. Just saying.
I did that.
I'm wearing it right now. But the shirts are in youth sizes, men, women, and I know men goes up to 3X. Because that's what I bought. Because I wear 3X. So...
I used to.
Yes, you did. You no longer. Congratulations. Man, I was kissing a large at one point. But that was a long time ago. But yeah.
I'm getting there.
I'll never wear a large. Even if I lost basically every ounce of fat, I think I would still probably be in an XL. I'm just so broad. But yeah, tfradio.net/Amazon. Any purchase you make helps us out and is awesome. Hey, so because of what tomorrow is, and if we actually did It's a Dawn Deal tonight, we would be woefully out of date by the time the show posted. We are going to do, what is it, Don? Leaving money on the table?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to do that. That seems to be the segment everybody really likes to hear about my thoughts on. So I wanted to address that tonight.
Okay, awesome. So this is just a tease for what you hear on It's a Dawn Deal, which we try to do every week. So we're not doing one this week because of SDCC, but we will have one next week. Don, how are you leaving money on the table?
I believe people in Takara working with these companies in Japan, Takara and these companies are leaving money on the table. And I'm saying that because I did get 7-Eleven Ultra Magnus, as I talked about. I'm Ultra Magnus, Optimus Prime, in the in RFC earlier. With the loss of Toys R Us, there is definitely a gaping hole in the collector's market that Hasbro seems domestically unwilling or unable to fill at this current time, with no collector's club, as I've talked about on It's a Dawn Deal before, and the disappointment that BlockCon has been gone for so long and there's no real replacement from a collector's toy standpoint other than what we are getting in the past with the Monster Bots coming out, which is good, but it's not exactly the club. It's like, oh, by the way, surprise, here's a new toy. There's no regularity. There's no organization. There's no, hey, you want to sign up for the Collectors Club newsletter? Here's information. There's nothing along those lines. Takara worked with 7-Eleven in Japan to give them that Optimus Prime. And even myself and a few people even tweeted to 7-Eleven as far as corporate about carrying this figure, if not in the stores. If, and again, it's a collector's figure. It's a higher dollar thing. But Takara not working with other companies outside the U.S. to give us these figures through some fashion, not working with Hasbro, using their connections to companies in the United States. Again, we've talked about how discouraging it is to have to get stuff from Japan. You have to go to HobbyLink, you have to go to AmiAmi, you use your middleman sources. And you're jumping through hoops to give someone money, which has always made no sense to me because, yes, I know there's product rights, there's licensing agreements, but here's the thing. It all boils down to they're a company, they're making crap to sell. That's the point of being in business. You make stuff, you sell it, you make a profit, everybody wins. You get money, the customer gets a product they wouldn't normally otherwise get. By these companies, and I'm saying specifically Takara, although Bandai is just as guilty, not looking at other outlets like, say, 7-Eleven's website, looking at Hasbro Toy Shop. Again, 7-Eleven Optimus Prime is an extreme example, but I'm just saying there are a lot cheaper things like 7-Eleven gets a lot of Gundam stuff. Rob, there was a relatively recent 7-Eleven Gundam, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. There've been a couple of 7-Eleven Gundam kits over the years.
So by them not reaching out, I'm again from a purely business standpoint, Bandai and Takara not wanting money, not really caring about the markets outside Japan to a degree that I think they should be, has never set well with me because it's money. It's a market that you can tap into. And if you put a little work into it, you will sell more crap, which is the whole point of being in business. And if they can get these Gundams to Barnes & Nobles, if they can get this Optimus, maybe Sans trailer, to the 7-Eleven website, just using that as an example, if they could get, Bandai could get Sailor Moon stuff to somebody else. I'm just saying there are outlets in the U.S. that may want these exclusives. Now that Toys R Us is gone, there's a vacuum. There's a vacuum that's waiting to be filled in this collector's market, and someone has to take initiative to fill it. And if Takara and Bandai and these other Japanese retailers will work with American companies to get these products, if not in stores, at least online, at a website, something, not only will they sell more product, make more money, they'll increase their customer base, and they'll increase the customer goodwill towards their brand, which getting good brand recognition in a new market, positive, is really something that every company needs. You need to make your brand a positive factor in people's lives. Now, for me, again, I'm using 7-Eleven as an example. I don't have very many 7-Elevens. I've got maybe one. The closest is about an hour away. I have nothing closer to me than that I know of. But I have Barnes & Nobles. I have other retailers that they could look at doing exclusives. So I think Takara, Bandai, and these other Japanese companies, by not looking at outlets in the U.S. and other places seriously and trying to make global marketing truly a thing for them, they're leaving money on the table, and that's a done deal.
I would love to have a Barnes & Noble book truck, Optimus Prime exclusive, Don. That would be great.
Nice.
I'm just saying, even if they sold him without the trailer, and it's just the robot mode in a nice box, I'm just saying there's always options, there's always variables.
Even better. Go ahead.
But they're not even looking at options. I mean, they're not. I mean, yes, Toys R Us had this section where you had the figure arts, you had the display stands, you had the Sailor Moon stuff, you had the blind box Gundam. So they had a section, but that's gone.
Yeah,
we have no more Toys R Us, and if they don't find some way to engage the American collectors market, they're they can have so much more. It's like us saying, "Hey, we want to give you money." Oh no, we have enough. Thank you. No, that's not the way business works.
Hey, so even better than that, what I want is an Ollie's Optimus Prime with the trailer full of like little clearance or closeout, like, you know, Predakings and Tripticons that just are shoved into the trailer and you kick them out. Hey, so we have more photos and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Photos of Ultra Magnus, Optimus, Sideswipe. There's actually stuff like weaponizers and things like that. But is Ultra Magnus, is that wraparound armor?
it sure looks at it like it in one of the photos, because if you look at it from the side, you can see some white peeking through around the red on his flanks. It looks like it may actually be the Voyager Optimus Prime mold with a trailer that you can turn into armor.
I love that so much.
That would be great.
I will buy that if that is what Leader Class Ultra Magnus is. I have to.
That would absolutely be one to look into. Yes,
but we'll have full details on the live stream and podcast RFC Extra that we post tomorrow. So this is RFC 580 Tune Back Tomorrow edition. Hey Rob, what's on T-Formers this week?
Okay, first up we have my review of Power of the Prime's Dive Bomb, who is basically a very large Combiner Wars limb with a gigantic backpack. And yet somehow, despite saying that, he's a little bit better than he sounds. Also, my review just posted today of Optimus Prime number 21, which wraps up the Falling storyline, and basically I think there's like one more issue before we get into the Unicron, and it's a pretty decent issue, though it just kind of feels like there's no real stopping point to it, which I feel like is a John Barber thing. Even when his storylines wrap up, things just kind of feel like they're still going with no time to stop and reflect.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously we're getting time to stop and reflect soon because there's not going to be anything left to do. And lastly, we are holding a reader's survey. You can share your feedback about tformers.com and possibly win store credit with Megalopolis Toys, one of our sponsors.
Awesome. Sweet. Cool. Okay. Hey, Don, what's on the network this week?
What's on the network this week is going to be, as soon as the page loads, thank you, RPG Lessons Learned, episode 63, Dwarf Maid. On this episode of RPG Lessons Learned, Brian and Mike welcome back Dusty from vacation. Refreshed after a long rest, the guys revisit Pathfinder's Beginner Box campaign and discuss a fun adventure we called Dwarf Maid. RFC Extra 43, RFC reacts to WFC, Siege Reveal. Chris, Rob, Matt, and myself and Jason get together on the night of Friday the 13th to talk about the first look at 2018's Generations Toys, War for Cybertron. Siege.
2019.
2019, I'm sorry. Teased in advance of SDCC 2018, plus a few accidentally revealed product names from Amazon Australia. Sally, this was the day between the long pile of those Amazon listings appeared, but hey, we needed to have something to talk about on Wednesday, right?
And also, It's Don Deal episode 5 is up as well, so you can check that out. Don talks about, what was it? What was leaving money on the table last week?
I think it's still in the show notes.
I'm trying to. It's been a long week.
I shouldn't have closed the page, but I remember
Our
typing.
Hasbro and Takara tell me leaving money on the table by cutting Power of the Prime short, and if that was done to start the new trilogy early, do you think it'll work in the long run? Asked by Jared Hebert.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. It's Don Deal episode 5 is up. Hey, Diecast, did you post any reviews or anything this week?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, cool.
I was car shopping for a lot of the week.
That's true.
Well, review your car.
Yeah, review your car.
Yep. But definitely I want to do that X-Trans bots. Is it not Cliff Jumper, just because I do have some interesting thoughts on that that I don't think people have talked about.
Very cool. Very cool. You can view the show notes for this episode at tfradio.net/580. Also, you can leave us a voicemail at 934-99-GO-BOT. That's 934-994-6268. And we will be using that on It's a Don Deal. And I have voicemails that I need to play and texts that I need to read. So if you haven't heard yours yet, keep listening. Just the last few weeks have been crazy with tons of news. Okay, so I can be found on Twitter at BKilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. I'm also, you can also find us at TF Radio on Twitter and at Facebook.com/TF Radio. Visit our website at tfradio.net. We have archives going back to 1999. And some of those old episodes are hard to listen to. I know because I've been doing it. So, but, it's classic. It's classic stuff. It's nearly 20 years old, people. So check that out. And, of course, you can find my website at briankilby.com. I have my own podcast and stuff there. Don, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Cool. Matt. At Melvar, 3 L's, 2 R's, MELLLVARR. Chris.
No.
Chris, RTXV, there on Twitter and on Flickr.
We have such a friendly podcast.
I know, right? Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast too, and on Facebook by at Reviews by Diecast, and also on tfradio.net/reviews.
Yes.
And youtube.com/RFC Reviews.
Excellent. Rob.
I am on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and Flailthroughs. Also on YouTube at Flailthroughs. Still playing New Gundam Breaker, which they actually patched, and a few more things work a slight bit better now. But next week, of course, I should start to have material from Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is finally coming out in Japan.
Awesome.
And if you want to request a specific gunpla or mobile suit in either of those games, check out patreon.com/flailthroughs and throw me a couple bucks and I'll show them off.
Awesome. Jason.
Well, I should be putting on all the shows I'm on this week on jasonsKirk.com, but since I'm not, just go to Jason S. Kirk on Twitter and see all the stuff I'm on this week, because I'm on like a show every day this week. It's crazy.
Very cool. Hey, also, while you're at it, buy a shirt at shirtcicle.com/tfradio, or maybe it's just easier to go to tfradio.net/shirts. The one I'm wearing right now, Professional Robot Collector, is a top seller. Check it out. Had to mute there to cough. Jeez Louise. I need to end the show. I'm about to die. So we'll be back tomorrow with a live stream of everything going on with War for Cybertron and all of that stuff. Then, of course, we'll be back next week with another episode of RSC. Any chance of There Goes My Money this weekend? Or do we have enough stuff built up when it comes to pre-orders?
Oh, I think we're gonna, just because all the TFCon reveals, we should be able to do one.
Awesome.
Although, Sunday is my birthday, so I don't know if I'll be able to.
Happy 29th.
36, but whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah, 36. It's all right.
Close enough to
I'm not as old as Don, so.
None of you are as old as Don.
This is true.
Dirt sent me a birthday card the last month, so.
Don, will you come up for my birthday?
Well, sorry, depressing enough as it is. Why do you want to add me?
Aw.
Nah.
I think he's looking for assisted suicide.
We all need to hang out.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Sorry for the cough. John wants to be added for the post show.
Yes,
And I'm going to take off because I am pretty tired now.
Cool.
Sleep
Good night,
well,
Matt.
Sleep
At
well,
least
Matt.
your internet held out the whole time.
Yeah. Hooray.
Oh wow, there is a set 2.
Yes, there is a Bumblebee set 2, and as I predicted, it comes with a with a metallic VW Bug Deluxe Bumblebee and those other 2 cassettes.
Oh, does anyone have a link?
And those are San Diego exclusives?
Who knows? Maybe.
Probably New York.
Wonderful. I probably won't get those either.
Yeah, well.
But that's if you want both sets of cassettes. What are they, $70 a set?
Which is still cheaper than trying to get the originals.
I think they were 60, and the Prime and the Optimal Optimus is 70.
Wait, what are we saying? $70 for the set of just the cassettes?
No, 60 for Bumblebee, for Deluxe VW Bug Bumblebee, and the other 2 cassettes probably.
Oh, so that's been confirmed.
Yeah, Volume 2. Yeah, Bumblebee Set Volume 2 is on display at SDCC.
Oh, awesome. Okay, something to talk about tomorrow. Hey John.
Did they have a Predaking just so I can finally be right with the sword? Because I really
There's
thought
no
that was
sword.
going to happen this year.
No,
There's
there's no
no
sword.
Hey, people.
Takara would give it a sword. I mean,
No. Maybe.
Maybe we'll get some dude made out of swords in this like deluxe weaponizer line that they're doing for
with
Siege.
no sword.
Hey,
It's just like
real quick.
6 gun, 7 sword.
Yeah.
You know,
Real
with a
quick.
flail.
Real quick, people, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm going to end the stream because I need to I just need to. So, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Well,
Just Facebook.
I'm going to drop off for a minute and install a version of Skype that isn't going to make me want to rage. So I'll be back in
that's why I
like
had to
Go
do
for
that.
it. Good luck.
Okay.
So are we still streaming anywhere, or was it just
You-
Facebook you cut?
Yeah, just cut Facebook. I'm
Okay.
gonna need to cut everything else in a minute,
Okay, yeah, because your cough syrup is clearly worn off.
and I need.
Well,
to,
I think he wants to work on the show immediately.
and I can talk to you guys while doing that, but I can't run the stream.
Stream while he.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm a
so
little bit
live audience,
distracted by all
it's
the
not that we
images.
don't like you. We just, are on a time crunch here.
And
so
I have to leave for work like at 6:30 in the morning.
nobody
Oh,
cares about
joy.
that, Brian.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Literally nobody.
the only thing is, I really want those cassettes because it's those cassettes that.
Don, keep in mind, those molds are viable. Takara is going to use them.
Yeah, I
Above
know.
and beyond which, I mean, these are such a freakish mismatch of audience. You will find people on eBay who only want that Bumblebee and will sell those cassettes. I promise.
Especially the volume 2, because people seem to like that gold paint VW Bumblebee more than the stock version.
Yeah. Well, I hope that pans out. It's just, and for some reason, the thing popped in my head when you said that about Takara doing them. I wonder if they would come with a Masterpiece blaster. That would be an interesting mix of cassettes to put with blasters. I mean, I know we've got Steel Jaw.
I would not be surprised. G1 cassettes fit in the Masterpiece Soundwave, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So even if they do not specifically come with Masterpiece Blaster, I could see a release coordinated alongside Masterpiece Blaster. That would make sense to me, even if they are not specifically included.
Now, wait a minute. They did the cassette. They did the recent release of that cassette set. That was the black repaint of Steeljaw, and a few other cassettes for like $100 plus.
Yeah.
Who's to say we're not getting these in another one of those 4-packs?
Yeah. Alternately, how many? I mean, have they done encores of both Blaster and Twincast yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That my Encore Twincast is the one where the arm sheared off when it fell off a table.
Quality.
Because he was in robot mode. Well, it was that metal pin, and the thing just snapped out of the plastic.
Yeah, it's still not great. Brian, if you're BRBing, you should just turn the stream off.
What?
He's probably got to stop coughing first.
What was that?
I said if you were BRBing, you should just turn the stream off.
Okay. Hey, people watching live, we're gonna do a stream tomorrow. So
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. We love
Take care,
you.
guys. See you tomorrow.
Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not actually sure.
I can't.
Oh,